Yes.
Yeah. Some of these words you may be already using. We will learn to use these words more systematically today and even later. But it will be a quick run through with some basic terms and some basic properties. Okay. As someone had asked me last time, should we be ready with our geometry boxes? That was a very nice and enthusiastic question. I'm very happy that this question comes to somebody's minds. But as said, today it will be good if you just keep your attention on the screen and try to understand what I am trying to explain. And then later on, you can revisit the YouTube video. That time you can sit with your geometry box, and as it is going to make you do so many things for which you will be needing your geometry boxes and scales and whatnot. Okay. So today, let us take a very quick look. It is 7 o'clock. Let us start with our last topic of the series. In the first 5 topics, we have talked mostly about the numbers and basic arithmetical properties of numbers. Today, we will be taking a look at some very basic properties of geometry, basically triangles. But before jumping on triangles, I just felt we should take a quick look at some of the terms we will be needing to draw a triangle. First of all, everybody knows that triangle is a figure with 3 sides. But there are some terms which I thought we should discuss before actually talking about a triangle. Since this is geometry, basically all of us know that what is geometry. It is that branch of mathematics that will talk mainly about different figures which may be 0 dimension, like point, which has no length, no breadth, no height, but it exists, just a dot. So we can say point is the very first figure in geometry. And when we join a number of points, one after the other, we call it a line. All right. But now, as I have drawn a figure over here, even this is a line in our day-to-day life. We will call this also as a line, isn't it? But when we talk about line in geometry, we will not consider this as a line. Okay. What we will consider as a line is, to understand, we call it a straight line. But once again, what is a straight line? A very simple way I will explain to you. Suppose these are 2 points. These are 2 points. And I want to join these 2 points using some beads or marbles, say. And I start arranging marbles to connect these 2 points. In how many ways I can connect these 2 points with marbles? In innumerable ways, isn't it? I can connect it this way, I can connect it this way, I can connect it this way, I can connect it this way. In any which way, I can connect these 2 points using marbles. Then what we will call as a line? When I'm using minimum marbles to connect them. And there will be only one way in which I will be using minimum marbles to connect these 2 points. There cannot be any other way to connect these 2 points using minimum marbles. And that figure drawn by using minimum marbles. Marbles, we will call it points. When 2 distinct points are connected with minimum point in the between and then extended infinitely on both sides, such a figure we call as a line. Now, whatever wordings I am giving you over here, we are just entering geometry and we are absolute kindergarten level students of geometry. So all these are not definitions. We will discuss all these points later on as our course proceeds. What is definition, what is not a definition, whether we will be able to define these terms or so many more things. But this is just for our understanding, because this is a very common doubt that can come in so many children's mind. Then why this is not a line? Why only this is line? Okay, the simplest explanation is this: when two distinct points are connected using minimum points in between and then extended on both sides, such a figure we call as a straight line or a line in geometry. Okay, now this line, we are slowly heading towards triangles, isn't it? So when we talk of this line, we will be able to think of three ways in which this line is sectioned. One way is the line extends on both sides indefinite. That means this line will go outside this paper, outside this PC, outside my house. It will go on and on and on both sides indefinitely. That is called as a line, and that is indicated by an arrow on both sides. And how I will write this also with a symbol, I will call it line AB, or I will simply draw this sign on top of it. That will be symbol of line AB, extending indefinitely on both sides. Now suppose I cut this line somewhere and stop extending it on one side. I will keep extending it on the other side. So that portion of the line which has one definite end point and it extends infinitely is called as a ray. We use this word for sun ray or the rays coming from the bulb of light. So where we have a fixed end and from that something is emerging. It has got one fixed end and other end going indefinitely. But this is a part of a line, isn't it? When I cut the line in some place, I will get two rays. One ray will go in this direction and one ray will go in this direction. So ray is a part of a line. And now if I cut this line from both the ends and give a definite end point on both sides, that section or that part of line will be called as segment or line segment, anything. So segment AB is also a section of line. Ray AB is also a section of line. Okay. So ray and segment are nothing but parts of line. Ray I will indicate by this sign, a fixed end on one side and indefinite on other side. And segment I will indicate by two fixed endpoints. Now, out of these three, if I want to measure the length, will I be able to measure the length of a line with a scale? Will I be able to measure the length of a ray with a scale? Will I be able to measure the length of a segment with a scale? Think to yourself. Out of these three, for which I can definitely say that yes, I can put a scale and I can say this is 5 centimeters. Can I say this is 100 centimeters? Can I say this is 200 centimeters? No. So it is only the segment for which I can give a definite length. Ray doesn't have a length. Line also doesn't have a specific length. It is indefinite on both the sides. Okay. Now, let us go to the next term. We have seen what is a point. We have seen what is a line. Now we have seen what is a ray. We have seen what is a segment. I know you must be using these terms, but still. Then suppose I am drawing two rays coming out from the same point. Suppose if I'm taking this point and this point, for example, I'm calling A. And then I'm drawing this ray AB in this direction and another ray coming from the same.
Sorry, madam.
Then some other direction, I draw another ray, I call it AC. Such two rays that come from the same point will enclose some area between those two rays. And this area is again infinite because this ray will go on, this ray will go on. And the area which is like a cone will be the area inside these two rays. Now, such a figure formed by two rays emerging from the same point is called as an angle. An angle is two rays emerging from the same point and forming two distinct rays. Okay. Suppose I'm drawing one ray and I'm drawing another ray which is coming on it. Is there any area enclosed inside this? No, these are two overlapping rays. But when such a figure is caught, we have an enclosed area, and the measure of this enclosed area, we use a unit called as degree. To understand the position of these two rays, whether these rays are very close or little far or like this or like this or like this, any which way I can draw two rays, no? So to measure the position of these two rays, we use a unit which we call as degree. And all of you must be knowing using protractors from your compass boxes, wherein you place the protractor like this with its zero mark exactly on the common point, which is called as the vertex of the angle. The common point through which the two rays come out is called as the vertex of the angle. And these two rays are called as the arms of the angle. And the position or the inclination of these two rays is measured in degrees with the protractor. The protractor has 180 degrees marked on it. Starts from 0 here, exactly at midpoint is 90, and again on this side it will be 180. So if I keep the protractor 0 over here and my second arm makes an angle less than 90, such an angle will be called as acute angle. When the degree measure is less than 90, we call it acute angle. When the degree measure is exact 90, we call it right angle. There is only one measure for right angle. For acute angle, any measure from 0 to 89. So when two rays are overlapping also, they are making an angle of 0 degree in a way, you can say that. So any angle from 0 to 89 will be acute angle. Exactly 90 will be called as right angle, and any angle from 90 to 179 will be called as obtuse angle. And when it becomes 180, see, it will become a straight line. So what is 180-degree angle? These are two rays which are exactly opposite to each other. Opposite rays, they make an angle of 180. So a straight line is nothing but a set of two opposite rays. These are called as opposite rays. This will be a straight line. Then we have angles greater than 180 also, but let us not think about them right now. I can also have an angle of this, which will be greater than even 180. Okay.
Ma'am, may I tell the name of the angle? Ma'am, the name of angles that are greater than 180 is called reflex angles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we will think of them later, because as I said, today we are running a marathon of geometry. We have to do fast, so many things. So I'm just looking at a few essential things which I need to build a triangle, because finally we have to build a triangle. Okay. So we know acute angle less than 90, right angle exactly 90, and obtuse angle greater than 90 but less than 180. Now I'm going to give you one game which you have to develop yourself, because we don't have time to discuss this and develop this. But those who can work on this, they will have a fantastic game to play with their friends or with themselves or with parents. Okay. If we look at a clock, if we look at a clock, we have the hour hand and minute hand are like two rays. The hour hand and minute hand are like two rays. And these two rays constantly make some angle, isn't it? And they're making some angle. Now at any given time, what will be the exact angle in the hour hand and minute hand? We know tentatively 3 o'clock will be right angle. Then 12 o'clock will be zero angle. 6 o'clock will be straight line. But at any time, what is the angle in the hour hand and minute hand? We can find it out. And for that, we just need to take into account the speed of the hour hand and minute hand. The hour hand goes from one clock mark to another clock mark, say from 12 to 1, in 1 hour. And this is 30 degrees, because full clock is 360 degrees, no? And this is 1/12 of it. So from one clock mark to another clock mark, it goes 30 degrees in 1 clock hour, that is 60 minutes. So I can determine the speed of the hour hand. It is half degree per minute. And what about the minute hand? The minute hand goes round the whole clock in 1 hour. So the minute hand goes 360 degrees in 60 minutes. That means it goes 6 degrees in 1 minute. That is all I'm going to tell you. Hour hand goes half degree in 1 minute. Minute hand goes 6 degrees in 1 minute. Now use this, think over this a lot, and then work on these questions. When will hour hand and minute hand make right angles? When will they make straight line? How many times in 12 hours? And then how many times will the minute hand cross over the hour hand? Every hour, how many times will the minute hand cross over the hour hand, and at exactly what time? This will be a big research question for you. And then you have to find a by which you will be able to determine the exact angle in the hour hand and minute hand at any given time. For example, at 5:20, the angle is going to be exactly 40 degrees. How will you find a formula? How will you determine a definite method by which you can find the angle in the hour hand and minute hand at any given? This is your game, okay? And with this game, you will be able to enjoy a lot, find out so many things, ask riddles, puzzles to your friends, and start taking maths as entertainment and fun and not as a burden. Okay, let us go back to some more terms that we need to understand before we understand what is a triangle. Now, if I want to draw a triangle, what will I need? I will need 3 points. But suppose I draw 3 points like this. Will I be able to draw a triangle from this? If I join these 3 points, I will not get a triangle. I will just get a line. So I will need 3 points such that they do not join to make a line like this 3 points. 2 points will make a line and the third point should lie outside that line. It should not fall anywhere on the line extended also. These 2 points have made my line. Suppose I draw my third point somewhere here, which will fall on the line extended. Then also I will not be able to draw a triangle. But if the third point is slightly outside this line, suppose this is my line, and if my point is somewhere here also, yes, I can take these 2 points and I can draw a triangle using these 3 points. Such points which do not connect to form a single line are called non-collinear points. Collinear are the points that lie on the line. So all these points which make a line will be called as collinear points, points on a line. To draw a triangle, I will need at least 1 point which is not lying on that line, but it lies in that plane. Then I will be able to connect those points to draw a triangle. So to draw a triangle, I need 3 non-collinear points. And when I draw these 3, connect these 3 non-collinear points, I get a closed figure. See what was happening with the angle? I could extend the angle as much as I want. There is no limit. No, I can take this here, I can take this here. I can really take the line very, very, very anywhere I can take. But I will not be able to close this figure. So angle is an open figure. It is not a closed figure. It has only 2 arms. If I want to close it, I will need a third arm. So when I get the third arm, I will have a closed figure which will have some area enclosed inside it which will be definite. What is the area enclosed inside the angle? Indefinite. All that is enclosed in these rays, extended, is inside the angle. So how much area is there? Indefinite. But when I close the figure, I will get a definite area which is inside the figure. That is why triangle will be the first closed figure, smallest, minimum 3 sides. Then we know we have square which has 4 sides, pentagon will have 5 sides, hexagon will have 6 sides. I can draw a figure with 10,000 sides. No limit. But minimum how many sides needed for a closed figure? 3. Such a figure which is formed by using 3 non-collinear points, we call it as a triangle. Now, why triangle? What is the meaning of tri? 3. It's not try, is not attempt. It is TRI, try. So TRI, try is standing for 3. So why this figure is called a triangle? Because there are 3 angles in it, isn't it? Are there 3 angles in it? This is one angle, this is another angle, and this is third angle. So a triangle will have 3 sides. It will have 3 vertices. The 3 points are called as 3 vertices and 3 angles. Now, how can I name this triangle? Any which way. I can call it triangle ABC. I can call it triangle BCA, or I can call it triangle CAB. Anything is correct. How? What are the vertices? Point A, point B, point C. 3 vertices. Then the sides of the triangles are segments. No, they have definite lengths. They are not extending infinite. They are a part of line AC. Now this segment AC is a part of line AC, but when it comes to the triangle, it is cut here and here. So the side of a triangle is not a line, not a ray, it is a segment, and therefore I will be able to measure its length definitely. I can say that length AB is say 5 centimeters. Then length AC is whatever, 4 centimeters. This is 8 centimeters, something. So I will be able to measure, and therefore I will call 3 sides of the triangle as segments AB, BC and CE. And 3 angles of the triangle I can call. Now, how to name an angle? I can name this angle as angle ABC or angle CBA. I missed out discussing this point. When an angle is drawn, if I have to name an angle, the vertex always needs to be kept in the middle. So if this is the angle, I can call it angle, symbol of angle is this. I can call it angle ABC, or I can call it angle CBA. Both are correct. But I cannot name this angle as CAB. CAB will be this angle, not this angle. I cannot call this angle BAC. Both CAB and BAC will be this angle. So whichever vertex is in the middle is the, whichever name is in the middle is the vertex of the angle. And then we will get from the vertex the 2 arms. So this has got 3 angles. I can call it angle ABC or CBA, BAC or CAB, and CACB or BC. 3 sides, 3 angles, 3 vertices. And normally the side opposite C is shown by small c. This is a very common convention that is used. The side opposite capital A is called as A, and the side opposite capital B is called as B. This is a very commonly understood convention. So instead of saying segment AC, I will say side B. What is side B? Something that is opposite vertex B. This is a very commonly understood terminology. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule for it though, but these are the terms that we use for a triangle. So triangle is the first smallest figure, which is closed figure in geometry. Now, types of triangles. What are the different types of triangles that we will be able to draw with all these specifications? Okay. Before that, for any triangle, we will see 2 properties which are very, very specific for all triangles. Now, I want you to do this activity. You can draw any angle. Take your scale and draw this AB, anything, draw AC, anything. Measure the length of, don't raise your hands. I've already explained this to you. There's no point in raising the hand because we are not giving any chance for anyone to speak. So don't raise your hands. So this is the activity I want you to do. Draw afterwards, not just now. Draw anything, draw any segment AC. Then draw any segment AB. You can draw it like this, you can draw it like this, you can draw it like this, you can draw it like this. Anywhere. Any way you draw this point B. And join B to C at different positions. from different positions, join B to C and measure the length of BC. See here, we have drawn AC anyhow, drawn AB anyhow, and then we are drawing BC and finding the length of BC. Every time you will see that whatever is the sum of this AB and AC, BC will be less than that sum. Try to draw a triangle that AC is 3 centimeters, say AB is 2 centimeters and BC is less than 4 centimeters. Try if you can draw a triangle such that BC is 4 centimeters, 3 centimeters. Try it. Draw 100 triangles, because even if you draw one triangle in which this length is less than the sum of these two, you have disproven this property. So draw 100 triangles. Try to see if you can disprove this. This is a very, very important property in triangle, that the length of any one side is less than the sum of the lengths of the remaining two sides of a triangle. Whatever length of this, if you add it, the third side will always be smaller than that sum. You can do this by drawing so many triangles and you will be able to prove it to yourself. Similarly, draw any triangle. Draw any triangle.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to say something and have a doubt. First one is, I want to say something.
I'm not able to hear you better. Huh? Just listen to what I'm talking. This is a discussion session.
Ma'am, just
listen to whatever I'm talking. If you have any doubts, you can get in touch with me later.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So, like the property of the sides of a triangle, we also have a very specific property about the angles of a triangle. Draw any triangle. Draw any triangle. Now you know you can just draw 3 points from anywhere and you can construct a triangle. Draw any 3 non-collinear points. Vede, vakde, kase पण, छोटे, मोठे, कसे पण. Draw hundreds of triangles and measure the 3 angles of a triangle. Measure the angles. You know how to measure with protractor. Measure this angle, measure this angle, measure this angle, add it. For every triangle, the sum of the 3 angles is going to be 180 degrees without fail. Try to draw a triangle in which the sum of 3 angles is less than 180 or greater than 180. If you find even one such triangle, we will disprove this property. So draw hundreds of triangles. And what you will always see is, if you add these 3 angles, if you cut this angle and if you cut this angle and if you place it like this, you will get this type of a shape, which is protractor 180 degrees. That proves using a diagram that the sum of the 3 angles of a triangle is always 180. Okay, this is called as the angle sum property. And we will prove this. Nobody's talking in between, beta. Whoever wants to talk to me can call me up later on. Okay, don't disturb me during the lecture. So this is called as the angle sum property, and this is one way of proving. This is the diagram way, or we can say a model way of proving that 3 angles of a triangle will be 180. But can we prove it? We can prove it in many other ways. And in our courses, as we go ahead with MPI, we will be proving every result very, very methodically. But we will be proving this, that the 3 angles of a triangle will always add up to 180. So we have seen 2 important properties of a triangle. One is that sum of 2 sides of a triangle is always greater than the length of the third side, and sum of 3 angles of a triangle is always 180. So I want you to draw several triangles and try this. Okay, try to prove this or try to confirm these two.
I can disprove one of your things.
Now, when we are joining three sides in any which way possible, we will get angles based on, in two ways. We will get three types of triangles with the specifications of sides, and we will get three types of triangles with specification of angles. For example, we will be able to draw a triangle which has all three sides of the same length. Take any length. Now, I want you to really use your compass box and draw all these figures. Draw many such triangles. Take some base, for example, take a base, anything you can take, 5 centimeter. Then you can take the compass box, and from this vertex, take an arc of 5 centimeters. From this point also, mark an arc of 5 centimeters and join this point to these 2 points. We will get a triangle which has all three sides equal. Measure the angles of this triangle. Measure this angle, this angle, this. Draw another equilateral. This is called as equilateral. Lateral is side. Triangle with same sides, equal sides. Then select any other length, 2 centimeters. Draw an equilateral triangle with 2 centimeters. Measure the angles. Then draw a big equilateral triangle, 10 centimeters. Draw a very small equilateral triangle. Draw many equilateral triangles, and in every triangle, measure the angles of three angles of the triangle and note down your observations. What is that you're observing? Then another type of triangle is, instead of three sides same, we have two sides same and one side different. So say we will draw a base of 4 centimeter, then take an arc of 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. Such a triangle will be called as isosceles triangle. Iso is two. When we compare two things, it is called as iso. So when two sides are same, triangle will be called as isosceles triangle. Draw many isosceles triangles and measure the angles. Draw a triangle with a long base, 10 centimeters, and then like this, something like this, 8 centimeters or whatever. Then draw a triangle with very small base and base. Draw different isosceles triangles where two sides are same and third is different. Measure the angles. Make a table and draw 10 isosceles triangles and measure the three angles. See what are your observations. Draw 10 equilateral triangles and measure the angles and see what do you observe. And the third type of triangle is where no side is of the same length. If one side is 5, another side is 4, third side could be anything. It could be 3, it could be 4, 4 nahi chalega. It could be 4.5, it could be 2, whatever. So draw many such triangles where all three sides are different. For this, you don't even need a compass. You can just take a scale, draw this, draw this. For this, you need a compass because I want exact 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, exact 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. But this I can draw with scale also. Measure the three angles and see if their sum is coming 180 also. And what else do you observe? What do you observe about the angles of equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, and scalene triangle? So these are the triangles that are based on sides, different sides in triangle. Okay. And then we will have three types based on three different angles. We have seen that in a triangle now we can have an acute angle also, we can have an obtuse angle also, and we can have a right angle also. I can draw a triangle where all three angles are acute angles, that is less than 90. I will draw a triangle where each angle is less than 90. Draw many such triangles and see what their sum is coming. Then I will first draw a right angle. Right angle of any size. I can draw a right angle like this. I can draw a right angle like this. I can draw a right angle where exactly two sides are same. So this will also be an isosceles triangle and this will also be a right triangle. See here, I am taking this also and this also. So this will be an isosceles right triangle where two sides making a right angle are equal in length also and they're making a right angle also. Try if I can draw an equilateral triangle with one angle right. Koshish karo. Then I will draw an obtuse angle, any obtuse angle, like this, like this, like this, and then I will join the 2 points. This will be called as an obtuse angled triangle. Again, measure the lengths of sides, measure the angles, make a chart. So at least draw 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 60 triangles. And make a table of measures of lengths of sides and measures of angles. Note your observations. And then think if the equilateral triangle is an equiangular triangle also. Will it happen every time? If yes, why? If no, why? Will I be able to draw a triangle which has two right angles in it? If yes, why? If no, why? Will I be able to draw a triangle which has two obtuse angles in it? If yes, why? If no, why? Will I be able to draw an equilateral right triangle? Will I be able to draw an equilateral obtuse angle triangle? So many questions you can ask to yourself and try. Even if you have a slate and pencil, nothing like it, or you can use rough papers in which on which you can draw all these figures, or you can request your parents to lend you one old notebook or a new notebook also. I think your parents will be very happy to give if you're doing some experiments. So I want you to do lot of experiments, generate questions and do it yourself. Lot of triangles, different triangles, and make your own charts, make your own observations. Now let us do one question. One of the congruent is the one with same measure. Okay, meaning of congruent is one with same measure. One of the congruent angles of an isosceles triangle. Now when I'm saying isosceles triangle, when you draw so many isosceles triangle, we know that two sides of an isosceles triangle are of the same measure and the angle these two sides forms with the base are also equal always. When you will make your own observation, you will always see that if these two sides are equal, say 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, then these two angles will also be same. So what they are saying, one of these angles is 50. One of these angles of triangle is 50. Determine the measures of all the angles in it. How do we solve this? Now, what do I know? That if one angle is 50, I know these two angles are of the same measure. They are congruent. And if this is 50, this is also 50. So what is the first property? Now we will be using the properties, the tools that we have gathered till now. We have gathered the angle sum property. We have gathered that the measure of two sides of sum of two sides of a triangle is always more than the third side. Then we have gathered that equilateral triangle has all sides equal. We have gathered that isosceles triangle has two sides equal, and therefore their bases are also equal. This is something I want you to find after a lot of experimentation. Okay. Now I know that measure of angle A and B and C is always going to be 180. So A plus B plus C is 180. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C. But B is 50 and C is also 50. So can I determine what is A? 50 plus 50 is 100. So if the total has to be 180, A has to be 80 degrees in measure. So if one of the congruent angles is 50, then the measures of the triangle will be 50, 50, 80. And instead of saying congruent angle, if I say one of the non-congruent angle of isosceles triangle is 50. What will that mean? The third angle, which is not congruent, this is 50. Then what will be the three angles of the triangle?
60.
This is 50 and this plus this is 180. So what will be this plus this? That will be 180 minus 50. That is 130. And if this plus this is 130 and this is equal to this, what will be each of this angle? 130 upon 2. That is 65. So if the non-congruent angle is 50, the measures of three angles will be 50, 65, 65. Total is 180. And if the congruent angle is 50, then the measures will be 50, 50, 80. Total is 180. So read carefully what they are giving. So for an isosceles triangle, if they are giving us one angle, we will be able to determine all three angles. What is the story of equilateral triangle? You have to find it yourself. And what will be the story of scalene triangle? You have to find it yourself. If one angle in scalene triangle is given, can we determine the remaining two angles? Definitely. If one angle in equilateral triangle is given, can we determine the remaining two angles? Is there a need of giving even one angle for equilateral triangle? All these are your research questions. Okay. So we have taken one example of isosceles triangle. You will generate many questions from this and do your job. Now one more term we will be learning with respect to a triangle. If I'm drawing any triangle, okay, and I want to measure the height of the triangle. How am I going to do? From the vertex, I will draw a line that makes 90 degrees with the base. So from the vertex, I will construct a right angle triangle. Then this segment, suppose the triangle is ABC, this segment that is drawn from A and makes a right angle with BC is called as the perpendicular drawn from A to BC. See the term I'm using, huh? This is a perpendicular drawn from the vertex to the opposite side, and such a perpendicular is called as the height of the triangle. So if I'm joining this A, if I'm drawing something like this is not a height. If I'm drawing something like this is not a height. Height is the smallest distance between the vertex and the opposite side, and which I get only when I draw a right angle triangle or when I draw a perpendicular. So if I have three vertices of a triangle, from every vertex, I can draw one and only one perpendicular on the opposite side. This will be the height of the triangle corresponding to this base. But suppose I take this vertex Will I be able to draw one more height on this side? This will be the second height. So this is the height corresponding to this base. I cannot say CF is the height of the triangle with respect to base AC. No. What is the height of the triangle with respect to base AC? It is BE. BE is the height of the triangle with respect to base AC. If I am taking AB as the side and I want the height, then I will take the opposite vertex, draw a perpendicular and measure this. This will be the corresponding height with this base. Similarly, if this is my base, I will have one more height from it. So for any given triangle, there are 3 vertices and therefore there will be 3 heights for every triangle. And those 3 heights are the heights corresponding to the respective base. Always remember all these terms. So we will have 3 heights corresponding to 3 bases. If I'm talking of base AC, height will be BE. If I'm talking of base AB, height will be CF. And if I'm talking of base BC, height will be AB. Always remember that. But I will have 3 heights with respect to 3 bases. Okay. Now, once we've understood this, one more, there's a lot of homework that I want you to do for this topic. And those who are appearing for our entrance test, we will definitely expect that you are doing a lot of homework. You will not have any straightforward questions. Most definitely no question will come from the sets that we are doing. Forget. This is not a school exam that some questions are given and we will ask you some questions from that only. Just forget. You will have completely different questions, and only those children who have very, very sincerely thought and worked on what is given will be able to use what we have learned in the exam. If you just do it like schoolwork, reading what is given, by heart it, only do the questions which are given in the set, you will not be able to do even one question of our entrance test. Remember that. So you will need to think a lot, and for this triangle too, you will need to really, really think a lot. I'm just giving you a few questions. What you can think is, now draw an equilateral triangle and draw 3 heights of the equilateral triangle. Measure their lengths. Draw many such. You have already drawn 10 equilateral triangles above. You can measure, draw 3 heights for each of that triangle, measure their length. Then you've already drawn 10 isosceles triangles of different shapes. For every triangle, isosceles triangle, draw 3 heights and measure the lengths and see if you find something striking. Then you've already drawn many scalene triangles above. Draw 3 heights for the scalene triangle and see what happens when you have such obtuse angled triangle. This is my vertex and I want to draw a right angle. By any chance, can I draw a segment like this and make a right angle? No. So when it is an obtuse angled triangle, see that the height of the triangle at the obtuse angle is outside the triangle. This particular line, which is perpendicular to the base, but the extended base. I can never draw a perpendicular from this vertex on this base directly. I can never make an angle of 90 if I am going to draw it like this. If I want to make an angle of 90, I will have to extend this base. So for obtuse angle triangle, note that the height of the triangle, one of the heights, 2 heights, this height will come outside the triangle. Then if I want to draw the height from this vertex to this base, that will come inside the triangle. And if I want to draw the height from this vertex on this base, again I will have to extend this base and draw a right angle over here. Understand how these figures are coming. So for an obtuse angle triangle, two heights will be outside the triangle and third height will be inside. Observe what is happening for an acute angle triangle. Observe what is happening for a right angle triangle. From this vertex, I want to draw a right angle. It is already drawn. So this is the height. From this vertex, already drawn. This is the height. From this vertex, this will be the height. So draw several right angle triangles and try to make your observation about the lengths of the heights of equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle, and the position of the heights of acute angle triangles, right angle triangles, and obtuse angle triangles. Will the heights lie inside the triangle? Will they lie on the triangle? Will they lie outside the triangle? In which type of triangle? Where will the height lie? This will be a very interesting research project for you. Draw several diagrams. Spend a lot of time and make your own thesis, make your own observations, draw your own interpretations from it. Okay, so make the study very, very interesting for yourself. So now we have known the triangle, three sides of the triangle, three angles of a triangle, three heights of a triangle, three vertices of a triangle. Now we will see two terms. You must have already done, many of you. Perimeter, so we keep doing. Perimeter is nothing but the sum of the lengths of all three sides of a triangle. Take any triangle, and if I just add the sums of the sides, one is 5, one is 6, one is 7, then perimeter is 5 plus 6 plus 7. We know, we have used this term before. So perimeter is the sum of the lengths of all three sides of a triangle, and the unit of any such value, perimeter, area, volume, you should never write without a unit. If you mention it without a unit, your answer will be given wrong. Only number is never a perimeter. You have to always put it with a unit. And the unit of perimeter is the unit of length. So perimeter will be 5 centimeter plus 6 centimeter plus 7 centimeter. It will be 11 plus 7, 18 centimeter. This is called as a linear unit, the same as that of length. It will be centimeter, millimeter, meter, etc. It is simply the addition of lengths of any diagram for that matter. Even if I have some such irregular figure, if I add the lengths of whole this. So in short, what is perimeter? Suppose I have a figure and I'm cutting the figure and making it into a straight line. I'm opening this triangle and keeping it on the scale. What will be the length of that line or that thread? That is my perimeter. So perimeter is cutting the figure and putting it straight on the scale. That is the perimeter of any figure. And what is the area of any figure? Area of any figure is that part that is enclosed inside the figure. So if I want the area of some figure, it will be how much part of the plane is there inside this figure. So this I cannot cut and put it on the line, no? When I cut and put it on the line, only the border comes. So perimeter is the length of the border of any figure, whereas area is that part of the plane that is enclosed inside a figure, and therefore area will have length and two dimensions. I cannot just show it by length. And the formula for area of a triangle, there are many formulae. This is one of the most interesting projects that we do in our 8th standard MPI verb, we will be deriving many formulae by which we can find the area of the triangle, meaning the measure of this part, full part of the plane that is enclosed inside the triangle. One formula for finding the area is half into base. Base is any side. So I have three bases, AB, BC and AC. Base is any side of the triangle. So half into base into the corresponding height. Very important. So if I am choosing BC as my base, I will choose AD as my height. I cannot take BC as the base and BE as the height to find the area. My answer will be wrong. I can choose any base, but when I choose some base, I will have to choose the corresponding height and divide the product of that by 2 to get the area of a triangle. So now suppose this is my triangle ABC. What will be the perimeter of this triangle? Suppose I cut this triangle at point A and I bring this side like this on a scale. This will go 7 centimeters here, no? And I bring this side on the scale like this. I've cut the triangle. This will go 10 centimeters. So this total 7 plus 15 plus 10 will be the perimeter of my triangle. Okay, 15 plus 10 is 25 plus 7 is 32. So the perimeter of the triangle will be 32 centimeter linear unit. And what will be the area? Now only one height is given to me. They have not given me what is height BE and what is height CF. So because only this height is being given to me, I have to choose this base. I have no choice because I don't know what is this height, what is this height. But I know one height and I know all three bases. So which pair will I choose? I will choose that pair of base and height which is there with me. I have this pair of base and height. So my area will be half of the base. Base is 15 and the corresponding height is 4 centimeters. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Area will be 30 and I will express it as centimeters square, centimeter into centimeter, because base is also 50 centimeter and height is also 4 centimeter. I'm multiplying centimeter by centimeter, so this is centimeter square. And in perimeter, I'm adding centimeters. So it is not becoming centimeter square or cube. It remains centimeter. But here I'm multiplying centimeter by centimeter. What I do with numbers, same I have to do with units. So I'm multiplying 15 by 4, 60 divided by 2 is 30. And centimeter multiplied by centimeter is called a centimeter square, or it is also written as square centimeter. But area will always be in square units and perimeter will always be in linear units. So the area of this triangle ABC is 30 square centimeter and its perimeter is 32 centimeters. So for all the above triangles now, we have constructed 60 triangles, I guess, about 10 of each type. 10 equilateral, 10 isosceles, 10 scalene, 10 acute angle, 10 obtuse angle, 10 right angle. So I want you to find the areas and perimeters of all those triangles, measure the lengths and one. And now the magic box, a very special property of right angle triangle. We can go on, you can do a PhD on this property. A very special property of shown only by right triangles is called as the theorem of Pythagoras. This is a very, very important theorem in triangle geometry. What does this theorem say? First of all, this is a theorem only for right angle triangles. We cannot apply this theorem to any other triangle besides right angle triangles. At the same time, this theorem is applicable for each and every right angle triangle. What does this theorem say? In the right angle triangle, what are the terms that we use? These two sides of the triangle, which make a right triangle, we can call them as the sides making right, or we can call one of them as the base and the other will be the height, because it is already making right triangle. So what will be the height from A to BC? It will be AB. So it is also the side of a triangle and it is also the height of the triangle. Even this is the height of the triangle, because if I am drawing from C perpendicular, it will be nothing but CB. So there are two heights of right angle triangles which are also the sides of right angle triangles. I can choose to call one of it as base and other of it as height. And the third side, which is opposite the right angle, is called as the hypotenuse. This is a very specific term that we use for the side opposite the right angle triangle. So for any right angle triangle, there will be a base, there will be a height, which will make a right angle, and the third side is hypotenuse. And the theorem of Pythagoras says that if I find the square of this side, AB square, and if I find the square of the length of BC, BC square, and I add it, it is always equal to the square of the length of the third side. AB square plus BC square is AC square. This is called as the theorem of Pythagoras. This is true for every right angle triangle. This is your thought question. Or try to draw a right angle triangle in which this theorem will not be proved. Okay. Similarly, and all such values, we are going to see many such values, many such shortcuts to find such values where square of this plus square of this is equal to
You are not audible.
yes, ma'am.
1 minute.
Madam got disconnected, it seems. She will join again. Don't talk.
Okay. Sir, may I ask my doubts?
We are not, we don't have sufficient time to answer the doubts of the students at the moment, because Madam will complete the discussion by 8:30 and we are supposed to conduct a meeting at 8:30. So if you have any doubts, you can talk to Madam directly after the meeting.
Yes.
Yes, Madam. Mic is off.
cut
Okay.
it. Sorry, today my connectivity was really bad, so I'm thankful at least इतका वेळात काही झालं नाही. जाम माझं ड्रॉप होतंय connection. Okay. Now, so 3, 4, 5
Madam,
is
Madam, screen share करा screen.
हाँ, या एक मिनिट. एक मिनिट. Right. So 3, 4, 5 is the first Pythagorean triplet where all three values are natural numbers. 3, 4, 5. It's not getting annotated also. So 3, 4, 5 will be the first Pythagorean triplet where we will get 3 square 9 plus 4 square 16 will be equal to 5 square 25. Okay, lag yetoy ka खूप?
Ma'am, the screen is still black. Yes, ma'am. The screen is
Yes,
still
ma'am.
black.
We can't see the
your screen.
There is some problem.
and your screen is lag.
Now you will see. Now you will.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Now it will be visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Very
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Okay. So let us see 3, 4, 5. What is 3 square? 9. What is 4 square? 16. 9 plus 16 is equal to 5 square 25. So if two sides of right angle triangle are 3 and 4, the third side will be 5. Okay. If two sides are 3 and 4, third side will be 5. This is the smallest. All such sets will be called as Pythagorean triplets. Okay. Now, this is true for every right angle triangle, and every Pythagorean triplet, we can draw a right angle triangle from that.
Now you're not audible. I think
Audible.
and your sound is breaking.
Wait. Madam's connection is not strong today. So she is getting disconnected.
Excuse
Sir, ma'am joined.
Ma'am, we are unable to hear.
Please stop your video.
मॅडम ऐकायला येत नाही. मॅडमचा स्क्रीन दिसतोय का? स्क्रीन पण दिसत नाहीये.
Sir, screen.
Sir, screen is visible.
विंडो मॅडम तुमची विंडो
Sir, screen दिसतोय पण ऐकू नाही येते सर.
ऐकू येत नाहीये. बरं 2 मिनिटावर बघूया.
Sir, and also ma'am is also writing on the screen.
Yes. I will.
Sir, I think there is some lag.
Yes. I will check with her.
Sir, over here, the camera is over here is black. Everything.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
हॅलो, नाही येते आवाज. बरं, किती राहिले अजून मॅडम? बर, तर तुमची कनेक्टिव्हिटी खूप पुअर दिसते सारखं डिस्टर्ब होत. बघा, 1 मिनिट ट्राय करा, नाही तर मग मी संपवतो.
Sometimes the video needs too much internet connection speed. So if a person turns off their video, the other things are visible.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Yes, audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
well.
Yes.
Very well.
Ma'am,
Now,
you
actually, I think my job is over. That is why my connectivity is going. God is saying that children have learned now,
Yes.
and so they can do the rest of the things by themselves.
Yeah.
I am sharing the screen. Wait, I'm sharing the screen. It's not getting shared. इतनी गड़बड़ होती है माझी. हाँ. See if you can see the screen now.
No, ma'am. Screen is not visible.
The screen
Wait,
Ma'am, screen is not visible.
not visible, no? So now you all are grown up and now you can do it yourself.
मी ट्राय करतो मॅडम, 1 मिनिट.
You don't need a teacher.
1 मिनिट. काय करू?
नाही होत आहे.
नाही
It's going again.
ओके, एक्झिट फुल स्क्रीन. ओके, मी ट्राय करतो मॅडम, 1च मिनिट. फाउंडेशन लेक्चर नंबर 11 ना मॅडम? हा, हा मॅडम, मी करतो फिनिश. हा, मी फिनिश करतो. ओके, चालेल, बघतो मी. येस, ओके. Screen share. Now you should not start your mic. This is our screen. Correct? Can you see? I mean, yes. Food for thought. Up to this point, madam has done. Now you should not talk because simultaneously I cannot control you and I will not be able to discuss also. So, okay. Now, if the side is making right angle triangle or 5, 12, find the third hypotenuse. Okay, this is a simple question. Suppose we have, wait, I have to annotate now. Annotate with blue color. Okay, suppose we have a right angle triangle whose one side is 5, another side is 12. Can you see? Hopefully, yes.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, so now AB square.
Yes, sir, we can.
BC square. AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. This is what is Pythagoras. So 5 square plus 12 square is equal to AC square. 5 square is 25 plus 144. हाँ मैडम, मैं करतो कंप्लीट. हाँ, घेतो एक मिनिट. मॅडम ना पार्टिसिपंट्स ऍडमिट आला. ओके, So this is square is 169, correct? And 169 happens to be perfect square of 13. Therefore, AC is equal to 13. So if two sides of right angle triangle are given, third side can be found out. In this case, it is 13. One side of second problem, if one side of right angle triangle making right angle is 6 and the hypotenuse is 10. So in this case, one side is given to be 6 and hypotenuse is given to be 10. So ABC triangle. So AB square is 6 square plus BC square is equal to 10 square. Correct? So BC square is equal to 10 square is 100 minus 6 square is 36 is equal to 64. 64 happens to be square of 8. So BC is equal to 8. So any two sides of right angle triangle are given, third can be found out using Pythagoras theorem. Stop, annotate and scroll up. Two sides of the erase. Annotate.
Clear all ला जा, clear ला जा आणि clear all केलं की ते जा.
Okay. So stop, annotate and go up. Okay, one side of right angle triangle 5-12 झालं आहे. Food for thought, you can go through food for thought later on. So let us discuss couple of practice. How many are there?
6 आहेत सर. जेवढे होतील तेवढे करा, उरलेले मी नेक्स्ट टाइम.
Okay, so maybe we will solve 5 and 6. 2, 3, 4 might be a little easy. So we will solve 5. मॅडम देऊ का तुमच्याकडे ताब्यात तुमच्या?
हा द्या मी करते.
मेक मॅडम को-होस्ट. येस, मी स्टॉप शेअर करतो. आहेत आपल्याकडे अजून 10 मिनिटं आहेत. तुम्ही 5-6 पासून सुरू करा. 5-6 पासून.
हा चालेल.
थांबा, मी माझा स्क्रीन शेअर काढतो. स्टॉप शेअर. हा.
Okay. So let us hope now that next 10 minutes Maharaj internet will bless us. Okay. So
अजून दिसत नाहीये.
We can't see a screen.
आलं का?
नाही अजून.
नाही.
आलं का?
Ma'am, we can't see a screen.
अडकलं परत.
Ma'am, we can't see a screen.
Ma'am, it is loading.
Sir, nahi. Ma'am,
Ma'am, your screen is loading.
Now can you see?
We can see.
Oh, it came.
Yes, ma'am, we can see. Ma'am, we can see.
Ma'am, now your screen is visible.
Mute.
yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, now your screen is visible.
Yeah, you keep talking like this for next 10 minutes.
Okay, let us see whatever you can listen.
Yeah.
Okay. So this I want you to do as trial.
Arey.
Ma'am, your voice is.
Ma'am, can't hear you.
Now.
Yes,
Now you can hear me. You can see the screen,
Yes.
right? Right.
yes.
So now these are the 3 angles of the triangle, and we know that sum of 3 angles is 180. So I want you to do this. M plus 8 plus 72 is 180. Find the value of M. Do it as homework. And then find the smallest angle. Find the value of M, then find the 3 angles, and then see which is the smallest angle. Okay. And you will of course get the solutions afterwards. So this is an easy sum. Then similarly, the 3 angles of a triangle are 9x, 2x and 7x. So 9x plus 2x plus 7x is 180. Find the value of x and then find the value of these 3 angles and then find what type of a triangle is this. 9x plus 2x plus 7x is 180. Find what will be this angle, what will be this angle, and what will be this angle, and then what type of triangle is this. This also you can do it very easily. Then the third also, actually you can do it yourself. Which of the following does not make a Pythagorean triplet? So for each of it, try if this square plus this square is this square, this square plus this square is this square, in which of this it is a Pythagorean triplet. So in which of the set the sum of the squares of 2 is coming equal to the sum of the third. That will make a right angle triangle. So even this you can do by yourself. Okay, now you will have become strong and you can do good homeworks. So with smallest hints you can do it. Then see the next question. Determine which of the following sets cannot represent three sides of a triangle. What have we learned about the lengths of the triangles? The sum of two sides should be more than third side. So find out in which of the following sets sum of two sides is not more than third side. Either it is equal to third side or less than the third side. That set cannot represent three sides of a triangle. So you can do this as your self-study also. Okay. Let us go to the third questions. Trees are planted at a distance of 3 meters along the fence of a triangular garden. Triangular garden of dimension 17 meter, 25 meter and 30 meter. And I am planting trees at a distance of 3 meters. What will I need to do? First find the perimeter and then divide perimeter by 3. That will give me the number of trees. So find the perimeter and divide by 3. That will also be your self-study. Okay. And then the last question, and then we will be talking to your parents. A ladder 50 feet in length is kept inclined along the wall. This is the wall, this is the floor, and this is a ladder kept. This ladder is 50 meters. It touches the wall at 40 feet height from the ground. So this height is 40 feet. Find the distance of the base of the ladder from the base of the wall. So I want this. So is this a right angle triangle now?
Yes, ma'am.
The hypotenuse. This is one side and I want to find this side. So simply, if I call it BC, ABC, then 40 square plus BC square will be 50 square. We know how to find the square of 50. 5 5s are 25, upar do 0. 40, 4 4s are 16, upar do 0. Subtract karo, aa gaya 900, which is BC square. So BC will be 30. Now see, 3, 4, 5 was our basic Pythagorean. Into 10, I have got another Pythagorean triplet. See if you can design some more Pythagorean triplets using this trick. Okay, we will continue with our discussion on Saturday. So we stop our discussion for today. I will hand over the reins to Subodh sir now. He would like to address the parents. I hope your parents are there with you, sitting besides you now. Sunil sir, आले का?
नाही आले, येतील पण ते. आले आले.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, is it okay if my parents join from a different account?
Yes. Sunil sir join झालात ना?
झालोय join.
Okay. So shall we begin?
Just a minute.
Yes. Okay. Soni madam has done a wonderful job in last 11 lectures. Today was the 11th lecture and we will have the last lecture on this Saturday. Okay. We were just thinking about how to go about students of 6th standard, 7th standard, when in last 2 years they have not attended a single lecture in their school. Their entire learning has been online, and the basic concepts or the knowledge that students are required to get in these two standards, 6th standard and 7th standard, essentially, because of so many adverse conditions around us, is missing. And therefore we were brainstorming in our institute, how can we help students of this age group, so that at least it is difficult to complete the entire mathematics portion for 6th standard and 7th standard, but at least some basic concepts, if we can discuss with them online using Zoom platform, which anyway otherwise also we are using for last 2 years. How about going and doing that? And then we got a wonderful response. More than 300 students shown the interest, and eventually I can see today also more than 170 students are actually attending this particular course. And because the recording is available, because you can watch those video lectures later on YouTube, maybe many students are not attending the lectures, but they are watching it and learning the things, because it was organized. Madam has done a wonderful job of generating the corresponding PDFs, content, and then questions. We ensure that whatever concept that we discuss in the class eventually should be used for problem solving, and therefore every alternate lecture after the concept is discussed, the next lecture was on the problem solving, on the problems which were given to you in homework we used to discuss. So we hope, I mean, it is not going to be a complete package where we have given you all concepts of mathematics in 6 and 7, but it is a good beginning. Also, we wanted to share with you the way institute thinks about the program, thinks about the education, thinks about the way of going about it very systematically. That is what another area in which we wanted you guys to have some exposure. I am sure the kids who were attending this were really young, and therefore we ensure that madam is assisted by yet another teacher in every lecture, so that there is no nuisance going on and the lecture gets completed in stipulated time of 1 hour, which we have managed so far so well, and hopefully students will get some benefit out of this. Now, whether these students are really finding the content interesting or not, have they solved their homework problems or not, and eventually needs to be tested somewhere or the other, and therefore we are conducting our entrance test. I mean, you might have some information about Prakash Institute, or you may not have. Therefore, me and Sunil sir, we thought of joining this particular meeting and sharing with you some small things that we do in our institute. Prakash Institute was started by Prakash sir in 2002, initially to train students of 11th and 12th standard for getting into IITs. Then after 3 years of the work, Prakash sir realized that students who are reaching them in 11th standard, their school concepts are not that strong. And therefore, instead of starting from 11th standard teaching competitive physics, chemistry, and maths, why not we should do it from 8th standard, so that if some concepts are lagging in the school, we make sure that those concepts are available with the students in 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then therefore student is much stronger compared to all other 11th standard or 12th standard students when he gets into 11th and 12th. Therefore, we started foundation program initially in only maths first few years. And then we realized that in a city like Pune, there must exist in one institute, at least one institute, which takes care of the best students in the society. In your school, in your class, there might be 50 students, 60 students, and you will end up having 5 or 7 or 10 good students out of 60 students in every class. but the class teacher has restriction. Class teacher is supposed to teach all 60 students in school, and therefore even if you are doing the things at much faster rate, you are completing the work very fast, you are understanding the things in better way, still you will have to wait till all other students complete their job. And therefore Prakash sir thought that the most students in the students community which get least attention are the ones which are the best in the school, best in that particular class. And therefore there must exist an institute like M. Prakash Institute, where we take care of all those sincere and hardworking students, all those students who want to learn something more, irrespective of their standard in which they are studying, irrespective of the board which they are following. Then we should give that particular education to that child. And we started this, as I said, in 2005, and then we started getting results because of this new idea. And in last 15 years, Prakash sir and the institute has produced several international medalist students. Now, international medalist student, let me just give you a small idea about what it say. For example, International Maths Olympiad. Now, International Maths Olympiad is the Olympiad conducted by a body where 6 students from every country participate. 6 students from every country. So from India also, there is a team of 6 students who will participate International Maths Olympiad every year in some country or the other, the one who is hosting that particular exam. Now, last 15 years, if you observe, M. Prakash Institute has got at least 30 students from our institute who were part of those 6-member team. If I want to give you recent example, the last academic year, the last International Maths Olympiad which was conducted, we had 2 students out of 6-member team from our country, Anish Kulkarni and Ananya Ranade, from our institute, who participated or who represented India in International Maths Olympiad. And these students, Anish got silver medal, international silver medal for maths, and Ananya got bronze medal. So they got 2 medals for the country. And this has been happening. You will find all these details on our website. So what was the starting point of Anish and Ananya? It is the same where you are right now. All the students are in 6th standard or 7th standard. They got connected to institute. They started getting their training in 8th standard. They started working hard on that, and then Ananya is in 11th standard and Anish was in 12th standard when they got their medals for the country. So it is a long process of preparing ourselves for the Olympiads. So how do they select 6-member team? Every state is supposed to select their 25 to 30 students who are doing good in mathematics with the exam which is called Regional Maths Olympiad. So around 4,000 students from Maharashtra and Goa will appear for Regional Maths Olympiad. Out of only 35 to 40 students will be selected from Maharashtra and Goa region. Like this 35-40 students from each state, around again 3,000 students, will give Indian National Maths Olympiad exam, which is All India level exam. And from that All India level exam, they will select the final 6 students for the country. So as far as Regional Maths Olympiad exam is concerned, out of 35 to 40 students, more than half, 15 to 20 students are from M. Prakash Institute every year. From the Indian National Maths Olympiad, in Indian National Maths Olympiad, what they do is, out of national level 30-40 students, 3,000 students, they select 30 to 40 students and they train them for 1 month. There is a residential camp of 1 month in Mumbai or Bangalore or Delhi somewhere, and they train them for international maths Olympiad, and then they conduct their exam. So 30 students selection exam is conducted in that camp itself. So out of that 36-member team is selected. Okay. So as I said, every year regional maths Olympiad level, about 50% of the students belong to M. Prakash Institute. Indian National Maths Olympiad, out of 30 students from the entire country, you will have 6-7 students from our institute. That has been our record. And are these students really totally different than all you guys who are attending these lectures? No, they are amongst them only. They are the students equivalent to you when they joined 8th standard. So that is, as far as Olympiad is concerned, how institute is doing, I am telling you. As far as IIT exam, which is one of the important or prestigious exam in our country for getting into engineering college admissions, IITs are considered to be the best engineering colleges in the country. You will find we take 120 students in 11th standard, out of which 80 students are from our foundation. Foundation means those who studied with us from 8th standard to 10th standard. So 80 students will be from foundation, and 40 students will be joining us directly in 11th standard. So totally around 120 students we teach in 11th and 12th, and we prepare them for IIT entrance. If you go through our results for last few years, last year for that matter, out of 126 students in 12th standard, 80 students got IIT rank, 80. Now 80 upon 120 is a very high ratio compared to any other institute in the country. Okay, so it is our average every year is more than 50% for last 15-20 years. If you check, go on our website and find out. But last few years, last 3-4 years, we have got the strike rate of 80 out of 120. So this particular result we achieve not because we get the best in the industry students with us. No, the students are similar. They are not best every time. But the type of training and the methodology and the philosophy with which institute works makes it totally different. Students become problem solvers. Students become thinking students. That is what M. Prakash Academy makes the changes in this particular student. If you can compare, I am deliberately talking about other IIT institutes where IIT training is imparted. All other IIT institute, training institute in the country will make students like machine. You give a question, they will find out the answer and they will not think because they have solved that kind of question earlier. And they will make sure that students solve thousands of questions in 11th and 12th, whether they really understand the concept or not, whether they really understood the theory behind all those problems or not. They are not worried about it. Solve as many problems as you can like a machine and produce the answers of the question paper that you get eventually. That kind of training is imparted. However, we achieve the similar result. Our students also get great ranks in the country. But we achieve that result by making sure that all the concepts are discussed with the student in depth. We will not assume any formula to be true. When you start your training with institute, we will not assume half base into height is also area of triangle. We will not assume that. We will find out why it is. PNR upon 100 is simple interest. Why PNR upon 100? Why not P square n cube r raised to 5 upon 100? We will find out. So if we start doing like this, many students start finding physics, chemistry, maths very interesting. It is the different method by which we teach in our institute. And because we take exam, because we take students after screening, there is a reasonable homogeneity in the class. And therefore, the speed of teaching, the content that we can deliver has got a different texture compared to, I mean, if you compare it to your school content and school environment that students are learning. as far as online training is concerned, right from the first week of online training, April 2020, in our institute, we have ensured, because our class size is small, around 40-45 students in each class, and because all our students are selected few, we ensured right from the lecture 1 that students keep their video on. If student is keeping the video on, teacher gets the feeling that we are teaching in classroom. We can see the expressions of the students. We can find out whether they have understood or not by looking at them, and that makes a lot of difference. We caught many students keeping screen is on, but they are not attending our lecture. They are not paying proper attention. We could catch them. The best students, the Olympiad selected students also we caught in 11th standard, called their parents and told them that please go into the study room of your child and check. He is not listening to me. His video camera is on, but he's not solving my problems. And when they checked it, they were playing chess or doing something else. So this kind of things we did in last 2 years, and now we are very good in training online. There are substantial advantages also of online training. Many students from remote places used to come to Kothurud in our class. They used to spend 1 hour, 2 hours in commuting. That time is reduced. Now we have completed one complete batch of 11th and 12th. The students who joined us on 1st of June 2020, now they are giving their 12th standard exam this year. They have not attended any single offline lecture, but we could complete the entire course. We could achieve 100% effect of offline training, even though we were doing it online. So now in this particular session, because the number of students attending were more than 170, 150, every time we did not allow you to start your mics. We, of course, not force you to start your cameras, because it was one-way type of discussion which madam used to conduct. It was designed like that. But when it comes to actual training in M. Prakash Institute, it is going to be like classroom training. And if you are lucky, when you join in June, majority of our classes are going to be online, then everything will be exactly similar to, majority of the classes are offline, and you can actually attend those classes by sitting in the classroom. However, what I'm trying to mention is, even if it is online, even if you are staying far away or in some other city or in some other country, you can still seriously think of getting connected to us. Our intention, our M. Prakash Institute's philosophy is little different. Prakash sir has not created this institute for making money. Prakash sir has created this institute for imparting best education to deserving students. And all we teachers who are connected to Prakash sir because of this motivation are also not money-minded teachers. We love teaching, and therefore we are hooked up to M. Prakash Institute. Now, Sunil sir is with Prakash sir. Sunil sir was his first student in Ferguson College. So Sunil sir was Prakash sir for a long time. I had been connected to this institute for last 14 years. And the content that we have, the method of teaching that we follow, and the sincerity of the teacher and the commitment of the teacher towards the student makes all the difference. These are the few points which I wanted to share with you. And whether you want to join institute or not eventually is up to you. But I would urge that every student should give our entrance test on 30th of January. It is going to be altogether a different question paper. Those type of questions these students would not have solved earlier, because we create those questions in those question papers. Similar questions might have been solved, but then it is going to be fun for the students to write that particular exam. It is going to be online exam in the evening, 7 to 8, 1 hour. And the exam will be of the type where you are supposed to type the answer. It is not multiple choice MCQ, no. You are supposed to find the answer and type it. Suppose the answer is 20, you should type 20. Okay, and then immediately after the exam, I mean, of course, you will get training for writing that particular exam a day or two before. Sudhir sir can explain what is that procedure going to be. But these are the few points that we thought me and Sudhir sir will share with you. Sudhir sir, त्यांना जरा एक्झामची सांगितलं तर बरेल आणि अजूनही तुम्हाला काय सांगायचं असलं तर सांगा.
Yeah. One very important point I would like to add is the biggest advantage of our institute is going to be a very strong peer group. Okay, that means when your child is in a classroom in M. Prakash Institute, the other 39 students are going to be a great companion for him, because all of them are going to be almost of the same caliber, and therefore the teaching quality, learning quality, and the speed is going to be very high. And that is the reason why we would recommend all the good students to appear for our entrance test and be associated for the foundation program. As Pete sir has said, let me explain to you briefly how the online exam is going to be. In couple of days, you will receive an email from me where I'll be sending you a video. Okay, and that video I'm going to explain the entire online software which using which you will be giving the exam. Plus, your exam is on Sunday, and I will be giving you a practice exam on Saturday, 7 to 8. And that purpose of the practice exam is only to familiarize the student with the online software so that he knows how to use the software to mark the answers. It's a very simple thing. The video will explain all the details. It is not at all complicated. We have been using this software for last about 5 years or so. So, the details will be sent to you in a day or two on your email. Registration for the exam is on, and it will be on till Saturday. Saturday evening, I will be closing the registration. So please ask many friends of your child also for about this foundation program, and also ask them to appear for the exam. Even if you are not in Pune, even if you are not in Maharashtra, not in India, you can still attend our program. And that will be as effective as sitting in the classroom, as Pete sir has pointed out. So please utilize this opportunity, and I'm sure the next 3 years will be a fantastic learning experience for the child. Thank you.
Okay. Now, because we have 6th standard and 7th standard students together right now in this particular lecture series, the paper is going to be the same for both of them. Okay, in our institute, we really do not segregate students based on their standard in which they are studying or board in which they are studying, etc. Essentially, we teach them geometry when they are young. I mean, if you are in 8th standard, we will teach you a geometry, and that geometry will be advanced geometry, not only up to 10th standard or 9th standard, it will be a geometry beyond that, which is required for 11th and 12th. In 9th standard, we will teach you the algebra in depth. So algebra and geometry are the essential two things in mathematics, and similar things will be done in physics and chemistry also. So the question that many parents and students will have in their mind is, if my child is in 6th standard, will he attend the 8th standard course? Now, if student gets, we will have, once the paper is designed, we will have in our mind what should be the cutoff, which questions definitely students should be able to solve, and which questions are little difficult. If they solve, it is good. So cutoff will be decided, which will not be told to you. So if student, whether in 6th standard or 7th standard, gets marks more than that cutoff, he is eligible to attend all our 8th standard lectures, irrespective of whether he is studying in 6th standard or 7th standard. Presently also, we have few students who are younger by 1 year, but they are now 10th standard batch is being completed by 9th standard students. There are a couple of students like that, and more number of students like that are happening in last few years. So if 6th standard student can say score 70% of the marks in our exam, definitely he deserves better education next year. Just because he is in 7th standard, we should not stop him learning bigger and better things. Okay, so that is one criteria. And then the second question that few parents will have in their mind is, If suppose student does not get the marks which are above qualified, then we may have yet another level. Say for example, these numbers are not final because I don't know the paper. Suppose we decide that more than 50% students, suppose get student 50% marks or more, he is admitted to our 8th standard course directly, irrespective of whether he is 6th standard or 7th standard. Then we may think that if student does say more than 35% or 30%, if minimum these 6 questions he is able to solve, then he is good, but he needs little more support, he needs little more time to digest the things, etc. We may think of something different for those students. At the moment, we don't have any idea about how many are above 50, how many are above 30, etc. We will come to know that only after conducting the exam. So if student displays his interest and ability through our exam, our paper is such that we come to know many things out of that question paper. So if we realize that yes, these particular students, these students are good, we need to start taking efforts on them. And okay, even if 60%, 70% students could cope up with our requirements at that time, should be fine. So we will announce how to go about the remaining students, how we should engage them in which kind of training, etc. We will announce it after the result, after 30th of January. But the purpose of meeting you and telling you is this is one of the best, very interesting exam that students will give if you give that particular exam on 30th, and they will definitely enjoy giving this particular exam. What is the result of the exam is different thing that we can keep discussing later, but we want you to write that particular exam. We want you and your friends to write that exam and enjoy it. There will be one more chance in April. In April, we have the last entrance test, because at that time the school is over, school exams are over, so students can peacefully write those exams. So even if student suppose does not do good in this particular exam, January exam, he can always write yet another exam in April and think of joining institute. Now it is already 5 minutes to 9, so I am sure a few parents will have few questions. So maybe we will take 2 or 3 questions and then discontinue, and then you may contact us, me, Sunil sir, madam, and get more clarity about the questions if you have any questions in your mind. Okay, question from Tanvi Patil. Tanvi Patil.
Sir, I have a doubt. So while as you told we have to type it, so do we have to type the steps also?
No, final answer. And okay, immediately after exam, if you get the message from our side within 15 minutes or 20 minutes that you should submit your rough work, then you should scan it. All those instructions will be given to you before exam. How to scan the rough work, how to send the rough work, to which number it is to be sent, etc. Suppose we want to validate whether your answer is by calculation or just like that, then we will demand the rough work, but you are not supposed to type the steps, you are supposed to type only answer in the final exam. Now, questions related to exam you don't ask now, because we have got a set procedure for training you for the exam. Okay, and still if you have questions on Saturday evening, you can call any one of us, and the exam is on Sunday evening, so you can call on Sunday also. Okay, any other non exam related questions? Maybe Inish.
Yes, sir. So actually, I saw some of the exam papers from last year. So some papers also have science questions. So this year we will have maths and science, or only maths?
Yeah, we will have only maths, and moreover, we have tried to set the paper in such a way that majority of the questions belong to the 6 topics that are being taught in this series.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we are trying to learn from all these things, and therefore we have tried to set paper which belongs to these 6 topics, and only maths for selection, but the course, eventually the course will be for science and maths, physics, chemistry and maths. Okay, then Arnav Joshi.
Sir, this is Arnav Joshi's mother.
Yes.
Actually, he has today only we have received the message that he has qualified for the Homi Bhabha practical exam. So he's qualified the theory and gone for practical. So the exam is again going to be held online on the 30th of January.
But not at 7 to 8 p.m.
I hope it is not, because they have not let us know the time.
Yeah, but they will not conduct at 7 to 8 because they are government organization. They will conduct in daytime only.
Okay, okay, then no problem.
And if it clashes, you talk to us. We will figure out how to go about it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Now, quickly, Neil Panse.
Hello, sir. This is Neil Panse's mother.
Yes.
We are from Aurangabad. So I want to ask you about the online class. Like, can we continue it?
Yeah, same. It will be the same class in online mode. There are a couple of batches of 8th standard which are going to be online forever, whether pandemic or not. They will be online batches.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Devansh.
Yes, sir. If we qualify the exam, the course duration is same 3 years or 4 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
We
will discuss. Once we qualify, we will discuss after qualification what will happen.
Okay, okay.
Rajeshwari Mani.
Yes, sir. Actually, Sai Mane's father here.
Yes.
Sir, actually, we are already registered for the exam.
Yes.
And we did not got any kind of confirmation from you that whether the exam will be on the same day and
if you don't receive
confirmation.
If you don't receive any communication from us till Friday, you can call any one of us, me or Sunil sir. We will post.
Mane sir,
yes.
when have you registered? Mane sir, when have you registered? We are registered long back. I think 1 month before. So next week you will receive a detailed mail from my side, which will explain to you what is the mode of the exam, how to give the exam, and the link to the video. Okay, sir. Okay, that's nice.
Anish,
okay,
Anish Devasthale.
Yes, sir. Actually, I also have the question on the similar lines. As I have also registered, I think
you will get communication from our side. Don't worry. If you are registered, you will be communicated.
Yeah, but at that time, the date was on 22nd. The exam date
that was mistake from our side. Exam.
No, have you registered for 30th exam or 23rd January exam?
Yeah, 23rd January.
23rd January exam is for 11th standard, madam.
Let me check, sir, again. I think the date was 22nd or 23rd.
Yeah, that is for the 11th standard exam.
Yes.
For the 8th standard exam, it is 30th of January. And on the website, on the form, it is showing 29th, but the exam is on 30th of January. Can you please cross-check?
Yes, I will cross-check that again. Yes.
My number is there on the communication. So you can always send me a WhatsApp message or SMS. My phone number is there in every communication.
Okay, sir. Certainly, I will check that and I will update you on that.
Sure. Yeah.
Tendulkar.
Yes, sir. So, thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. I got a lot of information and from the lecture series. So, I have two questions. So, one question is, if the student is qualified for this foundation, what would be the fee structure? Because I was looking for the website and I got some details, but not much. So one thing is that, and second thing is, though the pandemic is over, will there be only offline sessions, or there would be two different classes running parallelly on online and offline? Because as you said, there are multiple students joining across the country, not only in Maharashtra, but across the country and outside the country.
Yes. Our fees for 1 year is around 43,000. And we have different batches. There are a few batches which are going to be offline if offline is allowed. Everything is offline. And there will be a couple of batches where even if there is no restrictions, we will continue online for all 3 years. So you should choose the batch which is suitable to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And one more question which triggers out of this discussion is, what is the maximum number that your institute allows for this foundation course? Is there any certain limit or?
Number of students, you mean number of students?
Yes, number of
Yeah,
students.
we have capacity of 200 students in 8th standard.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes. Now, there are many hands going up, but then couple of students, Daulatabad.
Yeah, please, Daulatabadkar.
Ask your question directly.
Yeah, so the dates have been, so you'll be communicating the dates, right, for the exams, because on the form, as you said, it is 29th on the website. And
it was a mistake. Exam is on 30th, evening 7 to 8.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Patil, Atharva Patil.
Hi, sir. It is Atharva Papa.
Question.
Can you share the link to register for the exam, sir?
Yes, we will put it on the group. We had already put, but we will put it
my ward is in 6th standard and he is not able to apply for the exam.
Yeah, you follow the instructions as if he is in 7th standard. Okay.
Please share the link, sir.
We will share. Anish Zule.
Yes, sir. So what will be the last date for registration of this exam? 30th January?
Saturday, 29th January, evening 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes. Jiten Shah.
Yes, I have a question that I am in 6th standard and the questions of 7th standard will also come or only 6th?
Questions do not have any standard. They are questions. So you solve whatever comes in front of you. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Dhruva. Dhruva. Ved Mahajan.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. I just wanted to know, like, are there any books that you would recommend for all of these students, which can help them to improve their concepts in mathematics?
Are you asking for this exam or eventually?
Eventually, for this age group.
Eventually, once students are selected, they are our students. We will take every care that is required. We will majority of the lecture notes we will give, which are our own lecture notes made out of referring several books, and on and above, if some books are to be referred, we will refer it.
Okay. Sir, can I ask one question?
Yes, Anish.
Yes, sir. Sir, so sir, what books would you recommend for this upcoming exam on 30th January?
I mean, you Google percentage and you will get hundreds of sites where majority of the sites will contain some questions. You solve them.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes. Then Jakkan.
Yeah, hi, sir. This is Alitha's mother. Yes. I just have one question. May not be the relative with the exam, but yeah, after the exam. Suppose that you have a 2 filters, 2 cutoffs. So these students will be in the single classroom, or based on the cutoff, will have a segregate that students.
Once we get those numbers, how many are where, we will decide. Whatever is right, whatever is correct for the child, we will do. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay, I mean, majority of the questions are done. They are similar type. Even if you have any specific, you can text me or Sunil sir. We will get back to you. Thank you very much for attending this session.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you actually taken my name, but I was not able to unmute myself.
Yes.
Sir, my daughter, I am Durva's daughter, Durva Barve's daughter, and she is in 8th standard right now. And we have registered for 30th January examination.
But for 9th standard.
For 9th standard, yes. The same instruction she has to follow, or any other instructions?
Yes, you will receive same instruction. There will be different paper for 9th standard. So if you are registered for 9th standard, you will get 9th standard paper.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your input.
Thank you. Ending the meeting. See you after the exam once students are selected.
Thank you. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now there is one more lecture. You should not.
अलग-अलग classes के exams का comment.
We have a lecture
You
We
have
have
lecture on
our
Saturday.
final lecture on Saturday.
Yes.
So let us meet on Saturday and discuss the problems on triangles. And whatever we couldn't discuss today, we will try to cover that also in our Saturday session.
Yes. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.